going on, everybody? Today I'm driving this really nice 1967 Chevrolet Camaro. It's been completely restored. It's had a rotisserie restoration, stripped down to bare metal, redone from top to bottom. Cosmetically, it's very, very nice, and mechanically, it's got a really trick pro touring setup. You could hop in this thing and drive it anywhere. Power comes from a 6-liter LS2. It has a 4L60 transmission, Moser rear end. The car is extremely smooth and just rips down the road. Let's talk about the suspension a little bit. Up front, we've got a subframe that's been media blasted, made to look brand new. It has all Heights components on it. So Heights upper and lower control arms, a much bigger sway bar. It has Speed Tech tie rods and end links. The steering box is a high performance, completely new, rebuilt unit. It is very, very, very tight. I'm flying through some corners here. The thing just has awesome handling. Out back, we have the tried and true, one of my favorite setups, the Detroit Speed and Engineering 4-link. They call it the Quadra-Link. It is very, very quiet. It handles extremely well and very stable out of the hole. You can hammer this thing and it stays straight, which is what we all want in a muscle car. We have custom American Racing billet wheels all the way around. They are 10 inches in the front, 12s out back, and they do that by using a Detroit Speed mini tub kit, so we can fit a full 12-inch. The thing sits nice and low to the ground, not so low, nothing rubs. You can bank it through turns pretty hard, and it's just fine. It really handles excellent. Nothing rubs, nothing gets weird on you. The tires are Nitto NT 55s. Those are a 300 tread wear tire, so they're pretty sticky, but they'll still give you some good wear as well. But man, once they're warmed up, they are sticky, sticky tires, and they will launch you out of the hole and feel really nice and grippy through these turns. Again, beefed up sway bars in this car, so flying around this turn right there, very, very minimal body roll, at least on the street. And this thing is set up to perform well on the street, so it's not going to beat you up driving around. QA1, coilovers all the way around. They're nicely tuned, just the way the car is. And the Camaro has a really nice alignment on it, so the wheel's nice and straight, doesn't pull, doesn't do anything weird. Tracks nice and straight on the highway, wants to drive in a straight line. Everything we wish these cars would have, and not all of them have. The exhaust system, I don't know if you can hear it, sounds really, really nice. It's got a nice growl to it, but it's not tinny, and it doesn't reverberate inside the car at highway speeds or driving down this nice road. The headers are Dynatech, and those are ceramic coated, and those flow back into a 3-inch exhaust system that is all stainless. When you look underneath this car, it is extra, extra clean. The first thing you see is that polished stainless exhaust system. Past that, you notice the floors in the car have a tinted bed liner coating. So the bed liner on the undercarriage is the same color as the outside of the car. But it's so easy to clean and service. You can pressure wash it if you go through a bunch of mud, which I don't know why you would. But it's very easy, it won't chip, and it provides a lot of sound deadening. And speaking of sound deadening, this car rides really, really, really quietly. One of the reasons is it has that bed liner coating on the bottom. The next reason is underneath all this carpeting, there's a bunch of Dynamat, on top of that a pad, and then on top of that, we have the carpeting. It's nice, it's quiet, you can't hear rocks bouncing off the undercarriage, little pebbles off the street, you're not going to hear that. The interior is all new, of course. It has a hidden stereo system, which is really clean, and a little remote, I don't know if you can see it, it's right here. That controls everything. It has Hertz speakers all the way around. Dakota digital gauges, which are nice and accurate, actually match the color scheme of the car. They're silver as well. We've got the speedometer, we've got the tach, oil, water temp, fuel, and finally the voltmeter. So 4-wheel disc brakes all the way around on this beast, and they are fed off of a Detroit Speed and Engineering Master and booster setup, which really, really feels great. The engine makes, there we go, adequate vacuum, so the vacuum booster works really, really well. And if you hammer these things, you're going to come to a complete and nearly immediate stop. I'm going to hop on the highway real quick. This thing's tuned really, really well also, which is a nice thing. Some of these LS engines just get thrown in cars and nobody thinks about it, but the tune is right. The downshifts are nice and snappy. The throttle rolls on nice and hard. And it's really, really hot today in St. Louis. And the car is running right now about 185 degrees. I've been driving for 15 minutes or so. Just an awesome driving car. And you know, one of the great things about it is it retains that muscle car feel, only it's dialed in so much more. So it doesn't feel like a warmed over new car. You really still feel like you're driving it. It's very responsive. But with that modernized suspension, it is way nicer than these cars ever were. I don't know if you can hear that exhaust bark a little bit under acceleration, but it's nice and clean and crisp. The good thing is I'm cruising right now, going 65, 2,000 RPM. I can hear the exhaust, but it's not droning on, so you can really hop in this car and drive it anywhere. It has 2,789 miles on it at the moment, which in my opinion is more than adequate to shake one of these things down. And like I said, it really drives well. There's nothing really to nitpick. I wouldn't change anything in terms of the suspension, the brakes. They all feel wonderful. The power's nice. And it's a nice, reliable package. And that LS2, that engine was completely rebuilt and gone through. So it's not some takeout engine with real high miles on it or anything like that. And it just cruises awesome. I like the way they did this interior, because these seats look kind of original, but these are actually new TMI seats. A lot more foam than the factory seats. A lot more supportive. They're comfortable. They've got a nice little bolster on them, so they're not obnoxiously wide, and the bolsters aren't huge, but they'll still hold you in the seat around corners while still keeping that cool original look. And a really nice, clean interior. I like these without the headrest on them, because you look in the car and it's a nice shot to the back seat, real clean interior look. All the carpeting's new, all the dash pad, the door panels, all that stuff's brand new. The headliner's nicely done. There's no funky wrinkles in it. I like the way they did the engine compartment on this car, because it's very, very clean. You don't have wires and stuff running everywhere. It has a high capacity aluminum radiator, electric fan, which is nice. The engine has aluminum heads, of course, and they rebuilt it with a Z06 cam, so this sucker gets up and goes, but has very, very nice street manners as well. Panel fitment on the car is great. Everything lines up well. Underneath the hood, you'll find some Eddie's Motorsport billet hinges. They are smooth, they're slick. They don't wobble around like the original hinges do whatsoever, so that's always nice. And underneath the engine compartment, you know, the original GM satin black has been replaced with some of that nice, shiny, polished out, really nicely dialed in silver paint. So the exhaust system is a 3-inch stainless setup. The mufflers are Pipes Pro, and the headers are Dynatech, and those are ceramic coated, so the whole thing looks extremely clean. If you peek underneath the car, you can see how well this thing's plumbed. Very, very clean. There's not junk running all over the place. It's kind of what you want to see, and, well, to be honest, rarely do. Thanks for coming to our YouTube page. If you like what you see, make sure to subscribe. If you want notifications, click on the bell. If you want to buy some cool merch, click on the info card, or you can click on the link in the bio.